Hi. So I'm Maggie with Moon Directed, and I thought perhaps it would be good if I did a sample reading so that you would understand exactly what an empowerment coaching session with me would sort of look like. So I recently did one with a client, and I'm just going to do a portion of it. I don't want to get into the whole thing. It can be long. It can be a half hour or it can be an hour. I've had a couple go an hour and a half. So it just kind of depends on what the issue is and what the primary questions that you want answered are and stuff. So she had a basic question. She's had a really rough time recently. She suffered a major family loss, and then her community has been devastated by some recent natural disasters. And then she's had a family member since then who's also been severely injured. And so she's like, the question was, when is this all going to end? Well, I can't actually do that. I don't do predictive. I probably could because I do it in my own life, but I don't do predictive because I don't think that's the solution. I think the solution is to give you some good advice, not mine. I get a lot of help from my guides, so that's the advice I bring forward, and kind of put you on a path to move you in a direction, because I know that there have been times in my life when I have just been so I don't even know what to do. And I had a friend that used to say to me all the time, so what are you going to do about it? And sometimes it's annoying to hear that, but then I found that when I started listening to that, like really listening to that, and now I hear it all the time when I come up against something, I think, well, what am I going to do about it? And so that is what I'd like to do through empowerment coaching. So we're going to kind of just give you an example here, a real quick example. So first thing I did was I did her chart. I used the Astro theme to run her chart off so that I would have a pretty good idea of what's going on. Okay, she didn't know her actual birth time, which would be very helpful to get a more accurate reading, but I kind of know her and her situation pretty well, and so I kind of guessed as to what I believe her rising sign is, and we use that to create the chart more accurately. And one of the things that I noticed was that she has Saturn in her birth chart in the 8th house. So what does it mean when your Saturn's in the 8th house? And so this is what we talked about. When Saturn's in the 8th house, that's your house of transformation, you're going to have a lot of building and then having to rebuild and then building and then destruction and then rebuilding, and that is going to pretty much be the way you feel throughout your life. Like I'm getting it done, I'm moving on it, it's working and everything, and then all of a sudden, oh, I have to start over. So that's kind of what her situation has been. And she goes, oh, that is so my life, right? And then the other thing I looked at was her North Node. I think this is an important indicator of what's going on in your life. And her North Node is in Cancer, which, by the way, it just moved back into Cancer, right? The 6th or the 9th of November? 6th. The 6th. Some astrologers are using the 16th. Doesn't matter. It's doing it right now. So it's there for about 18 months. So the North Node's what you're aiming for. It's what you want. So she wants home and family and nurturing. She wants to be that person. She wants to have that. So that's where she's aiming. She's working toward doing that. But that means she's coming out of Capricorn from her South Node. And Capricorn is about structure and authority and being in charge. And it's our fallback position. It's the thing that people will notice about you. It's when things get tense and you don't know what else to do, all of a sudden you fall back into that. And so right now she's feeling very much like she's back in the, I need to be organized, I need to overcome obstacles, I need to do this, I need to do that, it needs to be done. And yet she's striving, trying so hard to create this nurturing environment. So that's her current situation. I know a little bit. I don't know a lot, but I know a little bit, so that's always dangerous. So I like to go to my guides. So of course, as you know, I like to start off with what do they want to talk about? And so she got the Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands is about creating. What do you want to create right now? It's about a blank canvas. It's about an opportunity to start over. And that's really where she's at right now in her life. It's a real starting over situation. And so here we go. What do you want to create? So then I went to, oh, that was Poppy Palin. Okay, so then I also used Angel of Abundance because she's feeling not abundant. And I wanted her to understand that she can create abundance, but what steps does she need to take? So where she's at and what she's doing is not only is she dealing with her stuff, but she's the person in the community that people come to for guidance, for help, for solutions. And so she's trying to solve a lot of people's problems and not necessarily paying attention to her own, because if she were to focus on herself, that would make her feel like she wasn't doing what she was supposed to do. She feels like she needs to be taking care of everyone else, because that's the nurturing Cancer rising part. So when I looked at the cards that I received for her, I had detox your friendships. And I don't believe this is about friendships. I think this is about taking less of everybody else's stuff on. It's okay to help, but don't take the emotional baggage of it. So help them, but don't take the burden. Okay? And then she also received with that gratitude list. So gratitude list, I said to her, here's what I believe you should do. I believe you need to start keeping some lists. And one of them is at the end of the night. You sit down and you write 1 or 2 things that happened during the day that you're really grateful for. Something that'll seem like a miracle to you. Some little something, right? And that'll help you build your abundance mindset, which was another card she received. So you start thinking about the fact that you have plenty, that you have enough, that you are accomplishing things, and then you start building that. So do that. She also received no more complaining. Now, she's not complaining. She's not complaining unnecessarily. Her complaints are legitimate. For her situation, they're so legitimate. But when you get this no more complaining card, what that's saying is, okay, you are in a legitimately difficult situation. But right now, your words, your thoughts, your actions create the atmosphere that you're living in. So if you are saying things like, I never have enough money, then you will have not enough money. But if you say, I know that money is on the way, then money is on the way. Or even better, if you say, I am abundant, because then you become abundant. You have enough. I always have more than enough. And so when you learn how to do that, when you learn how to change the words that you're using, then you are creating the atmosphere that you're living in. You focus your thoughts on that. You focus your energy on it, because what you focus on is what you're going to bring in. So again, the other list I asked her to make, the one to help her detox, I said that at the end of the evening, she should sit down and write down the people who really touched her heart that day, their names or what the issue was or whatever. Write it down and then do a ceremonial burning and turn it over to God. Let God worry about it, so that she's not taking it to bed with her. So she's not living in that. She's going to be helping these people. That's what she does. But she needs to not carry all of their baggage with hers. So write it down, turn it over to God, and get a good night's sleep, because sleeping is a problem, right? And so then that way when you get up in the morning, you're refreshed. The other thing that she needed to do was take care of herself. And so find a way to every day do something good for herself. And we actually came up with an action plan for that. So another thing that came out was dietary change. So I asked her, are you getting enough to eat? Are you eating the right things? And she said no, and we discussed her dietary issues. And so we worked on that. We got the pregnancy card. I said, are you pregnant? Which I knew she wasn't. I said, is there anyone in your family that you know is pregnant? She goes, I don't think so. I said, okay, well, we were asking when the thing's going to get better. And so for me, this is also a timing card. I said, so, you're going to be kind of probably in the thick of things for like the next 9 months. It's going to be a building process. It's not going to happen fast. It couldn't. In this particular situation, it can't happen quickly. So I said, take a deep breath. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. You're going to have to, take a deep breath and understand that this is going to be a process, a building process. And so release the stuff you don't need. Be grateful for the things as they improve so that you're aware of it, and every day do something really great for yourself that reminds you that you are alive, and it's lovely to be alive and you enjoy it, because she also got this card. You've got the power. Which tells me she's totally supported. It says, use your abilities to resolve the situation. You can do it. And so I really believe that about her. Now, one of the cards that she had received also was the Metal King in the reverse. And that is about, again, taking on other people's negative energy and so needing to release it. So that's when we talked about how to detox that. And the last card she got was the Winged Wise Ones. Angel, help, miraculous aid. And so she knows she's got the universe at her back. And so that was that part of it that we talked about. So that's the kind of coaching you will get from me, where we'll take the situation, we'll look for actual steps you can take in a very practical way, and we'll work to try to change your perspective, your perception, because your perception is your reality. So create the reality that you want to live in. Don't create the one you don't want, create the one you do want. So I'd like to help you with that kind of thing, and that's the kind of advice, if you want to call it advice, guidance, counsel that I try to bring forward with the help from my spirit guides. So I hope this was helpful for you. If you'd like to schedule your own personal, private guidance, counseling, empowerment session, just reach out to me at my email. That's moondirected@gmail.com, and we'll set something up. Have a lovely day.